It has come to my attention recently that soft girl weight loss is not for me. Or really, what I should say, the soft girl life in general is not for me. What do I mean by that? So, I think in recent years, we have been inundated with content around being soft and feminine and attracting, not chasing. There are so many aesthetic, soft girl, feminine, female empowerment creators who are all about being effortless, not trying, letting things come to you, letting men come to you, let money come to you. When it comes to weight loss, hardly trying at all, making it look effortlessly, just being the bad, soft, feminine girl bitch that you are, and living this awesome life where it just seems like money, fame, friends, lovers all come to you without you having to try, without you having to fail, without you having to even admit that you want it. So before I continue, let me say that I think there is nothing wrong with this lifestyle. I think there is nothing wrong with these creators. In fact, I admire these creators. I think they're really fun to watch and they have some good tips. I think there is a lot of truth in the more you want things, sometimes you do end up repelling them from you. And being the person who attracts, doesn't chase, is not bad advice. However, I think for someone like me, with my personality, with my experiences, that just doesn't work for me. I have never been someone who things just came to easily. I have never been someone who was just effortlessly the cool girl. I have just never been someone who never had to try hard at anything. In fact, I've had to try really hard at a lot of things, and a lot of things I have failed at too. I haven't been as successful as I wanted to be. And as much as I try to pretend I don't care, as much as I try to pretend to be a cool girl or whatever and let things come to me, I've realized in my life, at least, things rarely ever come to me unless I work for them. And that has gone for money. It's gone for friends. It's gone for relationships. I've consistently had to put myself out there in order to make things happen for me. I've had to be a tryhard, unfortunately. I don't know that anyone would ever say that things came to me effortlessly. I don't think that anyone would ever describe me as the lucky girl. And this is especially true when it comes to weight loss. I think now we have been seeing a lot of content about effortless skinny girl weight loss, where the girls show up and they're like, I just go to Pilates and I walk sometimes, and then I have 3 bites of everything, and then I'm done. I feel satisfied. This is how you stay skinny. Now, I promise I'm really not trying to dunk on these girls, specifically Liv Schmidt, who I know is the 3-bite rule. Okay. I promise I'm not. I do like their content. I do like the messaging, but it just doesn't work for me. And I know because I have tried. This past year specifically, since I have been watching a lot of this content and since I've been on my own weight loss journey the past few years, I'm always trying something new, or I like to try something new because I know what works for me, but I think that it is important to try new things and try a new approach to weight loss or staying fit. So I'm not saying that the content like Liv Schmidt or some of these other creators who are less about strict plans and are more about, I don't know, I guess intuitive eating or the 3-bite rule and then you're done. I'm not saying it's bad advice. I'm just saying that for someone like me, I think it doesn't work. Now, I have had success with some of that for a while. I think that I have gotten into mindsets where I'm like, oh, okay, I can, be around trigger foods and have a few bites and then I'm done, as long as I'm busy and I'm in the moment doing something. But eventually, I think that my belief system, my own triggers, my food addiction, it comes back, and it is not as easy for me to just continue that route without some kind of plan. For me, I need structure, I need a plan, and I need rules to live by. Not only am I more successful this way, I think that this is just how I have to be with my certain personality traits. And don't get me wrong, I love all the affirmation stuff, like the skinny girl affirmations, things like that. You guys know I've done videos on that, and I really do believe it works. I really do believe in identity shifting, in telling yourself that you are a new person and really embodying that new identity. However, what I have found works best for me is using those same methods, but using affirmations or using an identity that already aligns with my current personality and my current beliefs. So for example, instead of me trying to convince myself that I can eat whatever I want and stay skinny, or I can eat only 3 bites of, my trigger foods and not feel like it controls me, instead I tell myself things like, discipline is really easy for me. I don't crave cookies. I don't crave junk food. It's easy for me to stick to my meal plan because I naturally crave healthy foods. I naturally have strong discipline around my trigger foods. I love to work out. I love to be healthy. All things that are true, at least at some level, and are easier for me to embody than me saying, like, yeah, I can eat pizza every day and stop at one slice. Again, that might work for a little bit for me, but not long term. So I wanted to make this video today because I feel like a lot of you are probably like me. You have gravitated towards me because of my tough love. And I think that it's really important just to know that we don't all have to be the same. Like, I've gotten lots of comments from some of you guys, other people on my channel, saying things like, oh, they disagree with my methods or my viewpoints, and then they will cite other creators who they think says it better. And that's also totally fine. However, that's just not me. So if that works for you, then watch those other creators. It doesn't mean that my methods don't work or are wrong, just like their methods are not wrong and work for them. But that's why I wanted to make this video today, because I feel like many of us may feel like, shoot, like this is supposed to be effortless. So-and-so makes it look effortless. I just have to repeat these affirmations and then it'll be effortless and I'll lose the weight. And oh, I counting calories all the time. Like so-and-so said that's toxic, but I don't know how to lose weight without counting calories. Or so-and-so doesn't have a strict plan, but whenever I don't have a strict plan, I gain weight. What gives? And honestly, I know because I've been there. And I think that I finally just come to the conclusion that that's just not going to work for me. Probably never will. I need plans. I need rules. And you know what? I also realized I like plans and rules. Okay. I like working hard. I think there was a time in my life where I used to resent or be bitter of girls or other people who things just came easily to them. Not only when it came to weight loss, but when it came to money or love and relationships, when they had lucky girl syndrome and didn't have to work hard for anything. Yeah. I used to be a little bit like, well, why can't that be me? When I think about it now, though, I realize that honestly, I don't think I want that to be me. I like working hard. I do. I think that there is a part of me that loves the struggle story. There is a part of me that loves saying I was 100 pounds and I lost it. There was a part of me that loves saying I was the bully girl and then I became a model. There's a part of me that loves being the underdog to come out on top, but I can't come out on top or have a struggle story without struggling. I think for me, I would rather say, yeah, I lost the weight and it was really hard versus I lost the weight and it just happened for me. So I am no longer jealous or resentful of people who things come easy for, because I realize, you know what? I actually like the struggle. I like the story that comes with it. However, I do think, and I'm speaking from myself as well, that we can become addicted to our struggle story where it in turn does affect our lives negatively. And although we may love on a deeper level being able to say, oh yeah, well, I did it myself and it was hard and I was underdog and blah, 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 and she had it so easy, we might actually secretly love being able to tell other people that story. It makes us feel a little bit better. However, at the end of the day, the effortlessly cool girls, the effortlessly skinny girls or whatever, they're not bothered. They're happy. They're enjoying their life because they have decided that life is easy for them. So what I'm getting at here is if we are not happy with our lives, if we are not happy with our struggle, we have no one to blame but ourselves, because maybe we have become a little too addicted to our struggle. So how can we continue to reach our goals and lose weight and be happy while still doing things that align with our personality, while still keeping a little bit of our struggle story, but not becoming obsessed with it? I think that right there is the key. So I want to give an example because I know I just said that, oh, I'm the person, I've had to work hard for everything and blah, blah, blah. And yes, it's true, but there was a point in my life, and I've spoken about this in many videos. I even have a video actually titled How Weight Loss Was Easy for Me. The reality is that yes, when I was losing 100 pounds, it was easy for me. And I say that with quotation marks because it doesn't mean that I didn't work hard. I did work hard. It didn't mean I wasn't still the bully girl. Doesn't mean that I wasn't still being bullied as I was losing weight. Doesn't mean that I wanted to work out every single day and that I just loved, eating healthy all the time. But what it did mean though, is that I was in such a mindset where I accepted the struggle. I accepted that I was going to have to do these things to get what I want, but I didn't focus on the struggle. What I focused on was the outcome. I focused on how my life would change once I lost the weight. And honestly, I think that is what made it easy for me because I just kept going. I never once believed that I would not lose the weight. I never once believed that my life wouldn't change for the better once I lost the weight. I also believed that once I lost the weight, all these other really cool things that I had kind of dreamed about, kind of half heartedly, would come true, like becoming a model and, having Hollywood producers interested in me and being on TV and in magazines. All that stuff kind of came easily after I lost the weight, after I did the hard work. And another reason I think that it came easy for me is because I wasn't so focused on it. I wasn't like, oh, when is it going to come? When is it going to happen? I did the hard work. Now when's it going to show up? I just wasn't in that mindset. Honestly, I was in such a cool mindset where I was like, yeah, like I'm just doing my thing. I'm going to the gym and, I know that the outcome's coming. I know that I'm going to lose weight if I keep this up. But in the meantime, I'm just going to enjoy my life. I'm going to hang out with my friends. I'm going to do what I've always been doing. And then lo and behold, it was like the more I did that, the more opportunities just kept coming. More synchronicities just started lining up. I told you guys about how I got my book published, how one day I was like, I'm just going to write a book, which was another weird synchronicity for me because a few years before, I had written in my journal that I was going to write a book. No idea, by the way, that I would even lose the weight, and no idea that the book would be about me losing the weight. Anyway, long story short, I got my agent really quickly, got the publisher really quickly, all because I was just like, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually. I don't know when, but it will happen. I never once believed it wouldn't get published. Doesn't mean I didn't still do the work. I worked on that book when I was started 18. I think I finished it when I was 19. I did a lot of the hard work. I did the editing. But at the time, because I was so focused on the outcome, I didn't think about the hard work. And fast forward to my 20s, and even now, life happens and you kind of lose that childlike innocence, that childlike belief. And I admit, I think that I really got addicted to my struggle story. And I told you guys many times before, my 20s were kind of hard. I think for many of us, our 20s are hard. But I remember being in a mindset where, yes, I still wanted all these things to happen, but I was so focused on just how hard my life was at the time. When I was working, I would work 6-7 days a week, just barely surviving. Oh, I couldn't lose the weight. Oh, I couldn't find a boyfriend. I couldn't find friends. I was so addicted to my struggle story and also resentful of other people, of other girls who just seemed like, oh, like it's just so easy for them. They're just beautiful and they just wake up and things just happen. But I remember that feeling like, seeing girls who had like rich boyfriends or whatever, and other people paying for them to do these things, being like, well, at least I'm independent and I'm working for myself and blah, blah, blah. And I can see looking back on it now, I'm like, okay, but who was really the stupid one there, Whitney? Who was really the silly one? Because while you were so addicted to your struggle story, they're laughing it up in the Turks and Caicos. Okay, they're getting their rent paid. Meanwhile, you're over here working at a bar being bitter. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say that we have to stop being addicted to our struggle story. And in hindsight, I can see how my life and my experience could have been totally different had I just had a different mindset in my 20s. And that doesn't mean that I would have had to just become a sugar baby or just totally give up my personality and my independence. There are so many other options I could have taken where I would have been happier and more successful had I just not been so attached to, I've just got to work hard. I'm a, scrappy young thing and I've got to make my own way. And this is just my story in life. This is just my lot in life. I've got to work hard for everything. Bottom line is this. I am now learning to work with my personality type. I am now learning to work with my beliefs. And I know for a fact that I don't want things to come easy for me. I do want to work for them. I do like being a hard worker. I do like being a tryhard. The cool girl, blasé personality type, that just doesn't work for me. However, what I am trying to do is be a hard worker, but also stay positive and also take some of the advice from these effortlessly cool girls, and that I just need to relax. I need to stop being desperate. I need to stop giving off that desperate energy when it comes to getting what I want. I need to go back into my mindset when I was a teenager and lost the weight to begin with. I think there is nothing wrong with being eager. I think that there is nothing wrong with being a tryhard. There is nothing wrong with admitting that maybe things don't come easy for us and we have to work for them. And I think that that doesn't make us any less cool, or maybe it does, but at this point, who cares about being cool, right? If we just want to get what we want, if we want to accomplish our goals, I think that there are actually a lot more people out there who have put a lot more effort in to get what they want and be successful than they are even willing to admit. So I think that's another thing too. And I think that when we just accept our story, when we just accept that we are going to have to be the person who works for it, then we also stop being bitter. We also stop being resentful. And we just understand like that's their story, that's their life, and this is ours. Okay. Like that's how they get what they want. This is how we get what we want. So if you feel like you are stuck right now in your weight loss or in your life, anything in general, think about what your story is. What is your story? What is the story that you have been telling yourself since childhood? Is it that you've always been the fat girl and that every time you try to lose weight, something always happens and it just, you can never lose the weight? It's so-and-so's fault, or it's your own fault. Or are you someone who like, yeah, you've had to work hard for everything you've ever gotten. You know, you grew up poor, you've been poor, you're always living paycheck to paycheck, and you can never get a break. Is that your story? I think what we need to do is look at our story and see which parts of it we may secretly actually like. We might actually like the fact that we have to struggle, right? We might actually like the fact that we almost make it. We almost lose the weight. We almost do this. Because maybe secretly we like that we get pity from it or we get sympathy from it. So I think that's really important, is to first identify what is the story of your life? What is the theme of your life? And then find the parts that are serving you are not serving you. So again, maybe it's fine that you are the person that has always had to work for something. You've always had to be the underdog. You've always had to try really hard. I think that's actually okay. However, instead of letting your story be the person who always has to try hard and never gets it, the person who's always poor, always will be poor, maybe we can change that story from, yeah, I am the person who tries really hard. I came from this background or whatever. And then I was successful. Then I finally changed my mindset and I finally accepted that my life wouldn't be easy. And that's when life got easier for me. I think it's time that we need to take a cue from the effortlessly skinny, effortlessly pretty, cool girls and let things come to us. Put aside our ego. Put aside our need to always struggle. Put aside our need to always be right. Put aside our need to gain sympathy from people or to prove to others that we're different, that we are hard workers. Just let that go. Let success come to you. We can still work with our personality types. We can still make plans. We can still be strict. We can still be tough. And we can still work really hard, but we can do it from a mindset of knowing it's going to work out for us. We can do it from a mindset of we are doing this because we like working hard. Let's just admit it. We like working hard. We like having plans. We like being able to tell people, yeah, I did that, right? I did that. Me, not anyone else. I didn't get help from anyone. It was all me, all my hard work. And so I think that really is the key, is just accepting it and then just enjoying the ride. Yeah, losing weight's going to be hard for us, okay? I'm right there with you. But if we just accept that we're not going to like every minute of it, if we just accept that, hey, this is what we got to do to get where we want to be, then it's going to get easier. If we just focus on the outcome and focus on the end of our story, let's stop this story loop where we're always trying, we're always working hard, and let's instead get to the end where we are successful. So let's let go of our excuses. Let's let go of the old story that doesn't serve us. Let's let go of any resentment or bitterness we may have towards other people who have what we want and it just seems easy for them. And let's just accept that soft girl life doesn't work for us. And that's okay. That's totally fine. We don't need to be a soft girl. We don't need to be the cool girl. We can be the girls who tried really hard. We can be the girls who put a lot of effort in, and you know what? It paid off. Anyhow, guys, that's all I have for you. This was just a little bit of a rant, just things that I've been thinking about recently, but I hope that it will help some of you along your weight loss journey or reaching your goals in general. Because as we know, mindset really is key when it comes to anything, especially to weight loss. So if this resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. I do love hearing from you guys. Even if I cannot respond to every comment, trust me, I'm reading them and I do love hearing from you guys. And of course, if you have not already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel for more content like this and check out my book, 1 Year 100 Pounds, which is a story of how I lost 100 pounds at 14 on my own. But it's also a tough love guide for how you can do it too. And then of course, my 1 Year New You guided journals, which I use every single day. They are weight loss journals that are formatted after the exact same journaling method that I used to lose 100 pounds at 14 years old, still use today. You can get those on my website. I will leave the links below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.